chilly this morning. Okay, got up about 5:30, 4:45, cycled. It's only 7 minutes from the campsite. It's downhill actually, probably about half hour on the way back uphill. We've come down to see the sunrise. Now, it looks quite nice at the minute. This is out at sea. Quite rocky down here. There's no beach obviously. Nice ramp there for the boats to go down. And that's where hopefully, if we're at the right place, we'll see the sunrise. So I think it's on its way up.
So we took a flask and some mugs and some breakfast biscuits and found this bench, and it was perfect because we got breakfast with a view. The sky is going red. I think it's going to come up about there. I think the sun's making its appearance. This morning we got up and we decided to get up at 5:45 with a flask of tea, come down and watch the sunrise, and it didn't disappoint us. Clouds weren't around, so we're right down here and there's the sunrise.
What did you think of the sunrise then?
I'm so glad we've done it. Beautiful morning for it, nice and fresh, beautiful. Something out of Lion King. Hardly any clouds in the sky.
Nah, look at that, perfect day. Right on the pinnacle here, down by the lizard, I think. Beautiful.
We're at Kynance Cove, down in Lizard, tip it right into Cornwall. There is a car park right at the top of Kynance Cove and it's run by the National Trust. It's free to members, but in the height for summer they can charge you up to £8. We did brave it and actually got into the water. It took us about 10 minutes to get in, and I do recommend a wetsuit, and that was in September. The water was icy cold, it was freezing, but crystal clear and turquoise. It was beautiful. After a long day, we headed to a little village and ate in a pub called the White Hart. The food was delicious, and that was 8 miles from our campsite, so not too far at all. And then we headed home, went to bed, ready for the next busy day. We just left our accommodation down at Lizard and Kovac. And we're actually on our way to St Ives for 3 nights, which is our longest stay anywhere in Cornwall. And we just found a little cafe and a pottery place, and I've got to show you this little vintage car. Yeah, so we just stopped at a little pottery place called Lamorna Pottery, and it's a cafe, so we're going to stop for a bite to eat before we head down to Land's End. Really nice and pretty around here. We didn't quite make it to Land's End. We didn't have a lot of time left and we was getting tired, so we headed off to our next destination. We got to St Ives, our next destination, and we got showered and changed, found our pitch, and then we went off to the Minack Theatre for the evening. When parking at the Minack Theatre, there's a big car park at the bottom of the hill for bigger motorhomes, but there is a smaller car park at the top of where the theatre is, up the hill, where you can park cars and smaller motorhomes. We was lucky enough to see the show Mary Bryant, a one-woman show based on a true story of a convict that was sent from Cornwall to Australia. If you get the chance to see a show there, it's wonderful in this outdoor beautiful theatre. Sure, you take suitable clothing because it is outdoors, so coats and blankets, but it's worth it. On arrival to the theatre, we had the choice of sitting at the back, or they actually said we could sit on portable cushioned seat pads at the front, right in front of the stage. We couldn't believe our luck. What a lovely evening. We wasn't allowed to record during the performance, but you can see a glimpse of the actress that played Mary Bryant right now.
Enjoy?
Oh, absolutely.
This is the swimming pool. There's a games room and bar. Such a lovely sight. I know I keep saying that, but I'm really happy. This one's got a pool. We're going to go for a swim. There's a lovely park there. Tennis courts. So we've just come through some lanes on our way down to St Ives, and this is the walkway through, or the back of the campsite that we're staying. It's a lovely little walkway. Whilst in St Ives, we stopped and had a nice meal and a couple of drinks and just had a mooch around, a leisurely stroll, and that was all we really saw of St Ives, the actual town centre. We're at Cornwall, just had dinner, and I really recommend the restaurant. What did you have, Wayne?
Had fish Thai curry.
Steak and owl pie with chips and peas. Not very slimming friendly. Before we move on tomorrow to Newquay. Yay, leaving Polvanta. I don't know if you can see us. Right, so that was the Kiddies Park play area. Lovely, lovely site. There's a shop there. Lovely reception. They've actually got a sports field that they own if you want to go up there and play games. Quite a way up, and there's a walkway, two walkways over to get to St Ives, and at the top of the camp there's a bus stop where a bus will come in and take you down to St Ives if you don't want to walk it, and they give you a timetable at reception. And so we're just on our way to Newquay, but we'll probably stop off via St Agnes because we want to pop there and might have our lunch at St Agnes. So, see you all later. Agnes has a special place in my heart. It's where I used to come as a child with my grandparents on holiday. This is where I learnt to bodyboard at the age of 7. Myself and Wayne have decided we're going to come to visit St Agnes and bodyboard once again. The tide's out, there's some lovely little rock pools as well, where you can go crabbing with the children or even as adults. So this is Nuki Harbour. Distance you can see the surfers over there. Right, we're at our site at Nuki called Trevella. I'll show you what it sort of looks like with the tents and the caravans. So what we've decided to do, and this is our personal choice, is leave a day early. We booked in for 2 nights, but we're only staying for 1 night, and we're going on to our next destination for 2 nights. Simply that we got a cab down to Nuki last night because it was too far to walk and probably a bit too far to cycle, and we wanted to go and get something to eat. There wasn't a lot of places we wanted to eat there. Our personal choice, it's not the type of site we really like. We like a small cosy environment. I will rate that the showers and the toilets were nice and clean, and the facilities, like we had a tap and electric on our site because we paid for a premium pitch. It's not an over expensive site, but it's just not what we were looking for. So we're off to our next destination, which is near Padstow, to see what we can discover there. We're hoping to get to Port Isaac one of the days, but I will show you, I will show you when we get there. So this is called Trevella, and it's in Crantock, which is on the edge of Nuki. If you're a real surfy dude and a young surfy dude, you might actually really like Nuki. I suppose we're showing our age a bit. I used to love it down here. When I was younger, but we actually found that we was more in love with St Agnes. If I was ever to come back, I will aim for St Agnes. Anyway, so it's a wet, rainy day. Wayne's doing a great job of driving, and yeah, so it's a horrible grey day, which doesn't make good filming, but the sun is due to come out this afternoon. Sometimes that happens, we sometimes get a great afternoon. So that's one of the shower and toilet blocks, and for how many people on the site, they haven't really got a lot of shower and toilet blocks, but I suppose they expect you to use your own. There's a tiny, it's called the world's smallest pub or something. This here is the littlest pub on the, see it there? The littlest pub, smallest pub in Crantock. And this is Trevella. So as I said, it's not bad, it just wasn't to our taste.